Hi guys, my name is Amit and welcome back to my channel Payip Technologies. So in last video lecture we have discussed about outlier detections and some statistical techniques to detect the outliers. Uh, so these statistical techniques are a z-score calculation and interquartile range, right? So guys, if you don't have the idea about the outliers and some basic statistical techniques to detect the outliers like z-score, IQR, scatter plot, box plot, etc. So I will highly recommend you to go to my previous video where I explained these outlier detection techniques, and you can find the link inside the description box, right? So before going ahead, I would like to highlight something. So guys, I'm going to use a handmade data set. It's a very short data set having only 11 points, and it's like very silly values inside these data sets. So basically I'm using the person feature data sets having height and weight, and height having values like 1 2 3 2 16 3 4 5, weight having values like 3 5 6 17 7 8. So guys, don't worry about these values, right? Don't try to think that height I mean height having these silly values, right? So concentrate on concepts rather than the values. I have taken these silly values for mapping the manual calculation to the Python code, right? So if we have the silly values, we can easily map some outliers, and we can easily map the code with the real values, real output values, we can say. So let's start. So I'm going to import three libraries. One is pandas, second one is numpy, and third one is seaborn, right? So pandas is very fantastic library used in the market, and pandas is used for reading the data from different sources. Like we can read the data from SQL, we can read the data from CSV file, Excel file, we can read the data from JSON files as well, right? And pandas having the very fantastic tool called data frame. And so data frame is, I mean, using the pandas read underscore CSV or read underscore Excel, read underscore SQL methods. We have the different methods to read the data from different sources and load this data into the data frame. While if have the data inside the data frame, we have multiple operations. We have the multiple aggregated functions like mean, minimum value, maximum value. We can join the multiple data frames. So basically we can map the data, we can map the functions of the data frame from the SQL. We can do everything inside the data frame, right? So definitely I will make one video on data frame only, where we can perform the lots of the operations using the data frame for playing with the data, right? So now let's start. So I'm going to create the data frame having again height and weight as a features. Okay, I didn't import this, so sorry. Yeah, this library has imported. Now we have the data frame. Before data frame, let's see the face of the data frame, df underscore. Now we have the total 13 points, and we have two features, height and weight, and we'll trying to eliminate the outliers from these two features, right? So let's describe the data set. So we have the describe function, right? In describe function we have the overview. We can have the overview of the data set, right? Like the total count is 13, as we can say there are total 13 rows. We have a mean value of height is 5.84. You can also calculate from these data points. So see, that's why I've used a very silly examples, right? Because we can easily calculate this mean value and map with this Python code that whether mean of the height is 5.84 or not, right? So standard deviation is 6.8, minimum is 1. Yes, minimum is 1, we can easily find it. 25 percentile is 2.0. It means this is the basically percentile method. Again, if you don't have the idea about the percentile, go to my previous video. You can find the link inside the description box, right? So 2 per 25 percentile value, 2 means there are 25 percentage value uh, just below the values 2, right? 50 percentile value is 3. It means 50% of data points values are below 3. 75% of the data points values are below 5. Maximum value is 25 in this case. Yes, maximum value is 25. See, we can easily map this output with our data frame, right? So again, you can map it from weight as well. So let's plot the diagram. So here we can see that 16 25 looks abnormally. These data points are very far away to other observations. In the same way, for the weight like 17, 12, 22 was this seems like outliers, because uh, they are looking abnormally. They are very far away to other data points, right? So let's try it using the graph. So I'm going to use the Seaborn, and Seaborn having the scatter plot, box plot. So let's plot the scatter graph. Yes. So here in scatter plot I have passed x axis as a weight, right? So here these are the weights on y axis, because I'm using univariate analysis. I wanted to see the outliers inside only heights, right? So that's why I put y value as a 0 and data is the data frame, right? So we can clearly see here these 3 data points are looking very far away to other points, but yes, this point is nearby to this point. So I don't know whether we can say it's the outlier or not. So we will see using z-score or IQR method, right? So these are basically two methods to use for detecting the outliers. Here the box plot. In box plot I have plotted this box for weight only, and see what's happened in box plot. Also we can say that these 3 points are eliminated as outliers, right? And let's go to the z-score functions. So I have explained you that about the z-score. Z-score is basically the formula for calculating z-score is x minus mu divided by standard deviation, where mu is the mean, and standard deviation is basically the standard deviation of that particular feature, right? So here I have created one function that will accept x value. X is basically, this is the feature from the data frame, and the threshold, right? So I have explained about the threshold, that we put some threshold to detect the outliers. So it's very little and short data set, so it's look like the data points are very close to very close to mean, we can say, after converted it in standard deviations, because its data points are very low, right? So we can eliminate using the one standard deviation, I wanted to say, frankly, right? So again, let's see. So mean and standard deviation using the np dot mean. So numpy, we have a mean function in numpy, and in mean function we pass the value of x. X is basically feature, it will return this mean. um, Simultaneously, we have the steady function that will return the standard deviation. In steady function, we passes the feature again. So using this function mean and standard deviation, now we have the mean value of the standard deviation value, right? So then I have run a loop there, because I have to normalize the data point. So I have to iterate the um, datas on every data points, right? So for that I have run the loop. So basically I will iterate over every uh, elements inside the this list or series. So now z is equal to I minus mean divided by standard deviation. This is the z calculation formula, and I put the condition if absolute of z is greater than threshold. Means I have explained again, if you don't have the idea about this z score and threshold, go to my previous video, and you can find the link into the description box, right? So basically what I have explained that if we have the threshold value 2 or threshold value 3, so if uh, the data points or standard deviation below the threshold or above the threshold, right? So we have threshold 3 means two range, lower bound and upper bound is -3, lower bound is +3, right? So that's why I have taken the absolute value of z. If it's minus z, so it will return the plus z, and if it's greater than threshold value, right, then we can say that, oh, this is the outliers, and we will store that outliers into the data frame, sorry, into this outlier list. Here I have defined one empty list, because this empty list I'm going to append some outlier value. So again, uh, using this z value, if z is greater, absolute z is greater than threshold, it means if the value of z is below the minus threshold value or above the plus threshold value, right, we will store this such kinds of point into the outlier z score list, and end of this code we return this outlier z score list to this function. Now let's call this function. We have the data set df underscore, and in df I'm going to pass df underscore dot height value, so this will store in x, and threshold as 1, right? Let's see. Okay, I didn't compile this. 16 and 25. So z score eliminated two values and says that 16 and 25 both are the outliers on one standard deviation. If I put here two standard deviation, so I can see only 25. Let's see about the weight. Let's pass the weight GST on two standard deviation. Data for object has not been. I have spelled misspelled WEIGST. 22. So I mean, Z score saying that on standard deviation 2, so there are only 22 values that is beyond this standard deviation 2, right? So it's eliminated as outliers. And let's see on one standard deviation 3 7 317 22. Okay, saying that 317 22, 3 shouldn't be the outlier in this case. Let's say the data frame 356. Okay, it's saying that 3 is the let's see the standard deviation z score value. Okay, so it will eliminate two values, 3 and 17 and 22. It's saying that on standard deviation 1, right, 3 is the outlier, right, because here we can see that 3 is looking apart from others, so it's not predicting good on 3 as well. So let's see on the 2 standard deviation 2. Okay, so on a standard deviation 2, it's saying that 22 is the outlier, right? So guys, uh, about threshold, I would like to say that do some statistical analysis, try to understand the nature of the data using box plot, scatter plot, and you can define the threshold at your end, right? So we don't worry about the threshold on IQR method, right? It's fixed 1.5. 1.5, it's not fixed, that's basically. So 1.5 is a very a well defined threshold to detect the outliers using the IQR method. So now we are completed on the Z score. Let's discuss the IQR method, interquartile method again. So in our interquartile method, I have told you that we have to find the IQ1, Q2 and Q3. So basically Q1 is 25 percentile value, Q2 is 50 percentile value, and Q3 is the 75 percentile value, and IQR is equal to Q3 minus Q1, right? And using the IQR, we have to calculate the lower bound and the upper bound as above. So in this case, in Z score case, we have defined the threshold. So threshold means minus, if the threshold value is 2, so minus 2 to plus 2 is our range. So minus 2 would be the lower bound, plus 2 would be the upper bound. Any values beyond, below the minus 2, I mean below the lower bound would be the outlier, and any values above the upper bound would be the outliers. In the same way, we calculated the lower bound and the upper bound. So for lower bound, we have subtracted the IQR into threshold value from the quartile 1 value, and upper bound we have subtracted the Q3, we have added the IQR into 1.25. Basically threshold would be the 1.25, that I have already told you that this is the well defined threshold for detecting the outliers using the IQR method, right? So now we have calculated the lower bound and the upper bound, and here we can print the lower and upper bound to see the actual value of the lower and upper bound. And I again iterating the elements using the for loop, because I have to see and compare every element from the features whether it's outlier or not. So I have put the condition if I is less than lower bound, or I is up greater than upper bound. So in both case, the I would be the outlier, and I will append this outlier to the outlier underscore IQR list where I defined here, right? And this function will return the outlier. So let's call this function, right? So function is IQR range. IQR range in df underscore dot height I'm going to pass it, and as a threshold I'm going to pass it 1.5. I have told you that this is a well defined threshold value. Okay, so lower bound value is minus 2.5, upper bound value is 9.5. So any value beyond this, below these values, and in any values above this value would be the outlier. So we can say 16 and 25, this is the above 9.5. So the normally we can say that if the values lies between minus 2.5 to 9.5, these are uh, not the outliers value. If value is apart from these two values, it means below this 2.5 and above this 9.5 value, it means these are the outliers. And personally, I like interquartile range method to detect the outliers. There's no worry about managing the threshold or defining the threshold value. Here 1.5, in this case 1.5 is very good, well defined threshold value. And we also can see the 16 and 25 for height is the are the outliers, and yes, 16 and 25 are the outliers in this case, right? Let's see in weight case. So here in weight case we should get 17 and 22, and don't know about the 12. Let's see. Let's call this function again for weight, gst. Yes, 17, 12 and 22, all three values are detected as the outliers. So IQR is awesome. I will highly recommend you to use IQR method whenever you can apply. Okay, So this is basic implementation of outlier detection, and this implementation is developed on very silly example, so that again we could map this Python code with our manual calculation. So using these values we can easily calculate the z score or IQR values, right? So guys, in next video I will again do implementation of all outlier detections on some very good data set that would be widely used in the market. Uh, Probably we can download it from Kaggle or any other internet resources, right? So thank you so much, thanks for watching my video, and please do subscribe my video and hit on like button if you really like this video. Thank you so much.